video is gonna trigger you. Now, before we get into it, guys, I've got a lot I want to talk about, but you know your boy gotta rock the Fear Razor merch. There is no other way you can upload a video saying that it's gonna trigger people and not show off your merch. You know how it's done, okay? We got this brand new t-shirt and beanie if you want some, down in the description below. But guys, I would really love for you to stick around. I do got a lot of serious things I want to talk about, and I just thought it would be fun to turn the camera on and just be a little real. I mean, hey, why not? I haven't really done this ever. And I have a ring light now, and I actually have a bit of a good lighting setup, so I figured, hey, let's put it to good use. So it's been something that I've been thinking a lot about. It's been something that I've been personally experiencing, something I've been observing, my personal life, and of course in the public. And well, it's something that we are all obsessed with. Now, it's a few things, of course, so, you know, again, I would really appreciate you guys to stick around because I want to hear your opinions. I want this video to actually become a bit of a discussion. Because I think a lot of people out there are hurting their lives. I think a lot of people they don't realize that they're kind of ruining their lives and or lowering the quality of their life. And I don't really believe it's necessarily everybody's fault. I think it's just a matter of being unaware. So what am I talking about? Well, I feel like one of the big issues I wanted to talk about, guys, is social media. You know, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Let's use the big ones. We both love all that stuff. I'm sure most of you love at least one of those things. I, for one, love them all, right? Twitter, I love tweeting. I love talking to you guys, fans. Instagram, I love posting. I love following people, watching their stories, especially motivational speakers, which by the way is a great piece of advice for anyone out there struggling with motivation, or you know, they want to get somewhere further. It's great to follow mentors, people you want to be your mentors. Follow them on Instagram because they post a lot of stories. So there's that. I love that. I feel like Facebook, it's just a personal nostalgia thing. We all kind of grew up on Facebook. Well, I did anyways, Facebook, and that's where, you know, family and friends are. And then YouTube. Here we are right now watching YouTube, and I mean, I love YouTube. But again, I feel like, you know, every YouTuber's got this love-hate relationship with the site, of course. So, like, what is it about all these things that are going to be triggering? Well, not really talking about YouTube here. I'm going to step away from YouTube because this is, you know, this is what I do. I love this. And here we are. But I've really stopped tweeting. I've stopped really posting a lot on Instagram, and Facebook I've just been barely touching. And honestly, it's been because of just how crappy it makes me feel. You know, like, so many of us are on social media every single day. For some, hours, every hour of every day, you know? You go to school, you go to work, you go out with friends, you go to dinner, and what is in your hands? Your phone, right? And of course, I'm obviously not speaking about everyone. Of course, I can't speak for everybody. But most people nowadays are just on their phones. And what is it about social media that's becoming a problem? Well, everyone is just so obsessed. Everyone's so addicted. You know, and if you're a fan of me and you've watched my content, you'll know that I've talked about social media and dopamine. Social media actually creates dopamine in your brain, essentially through reward. So when you get a follower, when you get a like, when you get 10, 20,000, 100,000 likes, followers, subscribers, views, these are all dopamine triggering events. Your mind is essentially being stimulated from all these things, right? It's kind of mind control when you, like, if you want me to be, if you want me to sound a little intense about it, in a weird way, it's mind control, it's mind manipulation, but people are not aware of that, right? And I know this is like a weird conversation on my channel, because this isn't something, I don't really get into crazy depths like this. But essentially, you know, social media was ruining my life. It's probably ruining a lot of lives. And the problem is, no one's really talking about it. No one's really aware, I guess, because social media is the norm. Like, I can tell you right now, I've barely been on Twitter. Instagram, barely. And sure, even YouTube, you know? It just feels like if you don't post enough, you're not relevant to your followers, or just in general, and you just fall off the deep end. Like, you need to be consistent. You need to constantly keep posting. You need to appeal to an audience. I mean, what is the point of social media than to essentially gain an audience? Why would you continue to post on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube if you had no subscribers, no followers, nothing? Why would you do that? So social media is just about gaining an audience, which kind of implies that, you know, you gotta work, you gotta post stuff, and it's fun at first. But then it's like, you know, when you get to a point where You're supposed to be out having fun with friends or family or whatever, and the only thought is in your head is, what tweet do I post that could get the most retweets today? Or, hey, let's go have fun. Let's go out. Let's go have an experience, but take a ton of pictures of me. Take a ton of pictures of me. And you know, we're gonna take a ton of pictures for Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, whatever. Like, you know, it feels artificial, right? Life is starting to feel a little artificial with phones. Now, I'm not here bashing, you know, I'm not trying to bash phones and social media, because it's not necessarily social media's fault. It's just the fact that we aren't aware that we're essentially overindulging in something that should be used as a tool and not an extension of us. You know, like for example, your phone in general. You know, they say that we are actually technically cyborgs because our phone is classified as an extension of ourselves. It's a tool, but in reality, this really is just a phone. But the thing is, we're so obsessed with phones. If you were to forget your phone, going to school or going to work, you'd probably have anxiety all day. You'd probably be like, you know, I don't have my phone. No one can contact me. I can't post. You know, it sucks. You'd probably be really frustrated. But like, guys, cell phones on this magnitude have only been around, what, 15 years max? Like, you know, life was never like this before, and this is the new age. What's probably going to trigger so many people is that so many people are so attached to social media, and that's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making with this. People look at social media as an extension of themselves. You know, like, social media it should be looked as a tool. There's nothing wrong with being yourself, but when you believe that you are your persona online, and you have this, you know, and you have this intense and very, like, dominating feeling that, like, Twitter is your life and YouTube is your life and Instagram, you know, it really just starts to take over. Because when you stop getting those likes, when you stop getting those retweets, when you stop getting attention from your social media, you kind of just start getting depressed. And I mean, look at me. You know, I'm a YouTuber. You want to talk about depression? You know, I know all about that stuff. And a lot of people do. But like, in terms of social media depression, that's a real thing. You know, I couldn't tell you how many times I've gone out, hung out with friends, or I'm supposed to have a good time and not be working or thinking about YouTube. And I take my phone out and I look at how my channel's doing, and or video even I posted, and it's not doing great. It's not doing up to par with what I wanted to do, right? And my mood just drops, because that's dopamine that's not being supplied to me because I'm not happy with the views, you know? Like, it's a real thing, guys, and it's not healthy. It's not a good way to live. So many people are becoming fake to each other. You know, it's becoming very, like, the internet's becoming just like this very selfish, narcissistic, egotistical place where, like, whoever gets the most attention is deemed worthy. And, you know, I have more followers than you. That makes me better than you. Like, there's just this very gross thing happening to society online. You know, I couldn't tell you how many people I've met in the world, you know, even through YouTube, who walk around with, like, I swear their heads are so huge. They're so inflated. Simply over numbers, you know? And, like, this isn't Hollywood stuff. This is YouTube. This is YouTube. Look at me. I'm in my pajamas, man. You know, I'm wearing my merch. Got my Rick and Morty pajamas. You know, Rick and Morty's a great show. It's for intellectuals. You get where I'm coming from. But yeah, all people want is fame. All they want is fame. And once they get there, they start, you know, or even getting there, they become toxic. So this goes beyond just social media. I mean, social media is just kind of making a lot of people suck. Take my word for it, okay? Like, I've been to a lot of YouTube conventions and parties, YouTuber parties. And, like, I've seen it all. I've been to LA, I've been to New York, I've been to Europe, I've been to London. You know, I've gone to so many events. You know, I go to PAX often. It's gross. Now, granted, there are some great YouTubers out there. There really is. And I've met a couple that were very big, like 10 million subscribers. And honestly, very, very impressed with how nice they are. But I've also met others that are just, like, full of themselves, right? And the other side of the coin too is, you know, when you get so big and you get so much attention, you start to get desensitized to people, and you just start to not really care. You know, it becomes this weird toxic thing. I mean, you wonder, you look at celebrities. I can only imagine how like depressing it is to go out and constantly be harassed by like the paparazzi, or constantly have fans coming up to you. So like, I mean, in a weird way, we're kind of seeing this. We're seeing like a mini version of Hollywood taking place on the internet, on YouTube. But anyways, back, you know, I digress a little bit here, but let me just like take a step back and go back to you guys and social media. To the average person, it's very appealing to become famous in terms of getting a lot of followers, right? You follow someone you know in real life and they have 20,000, 30, 50,000 followers on Instagram, and you're like, whoa, that's interesting. How did that happen? And then, you know, people start, you know, sometimes people stop looking at you like a person and start looking at you as an opportunity. You know, I'll say this right now. There was actually a time where I stopped telling people I did YouTube. And that's not like, you know, weird flex, but okay. No, seriously, like, there was a time where I talked about YouTube a lot. I talked about that I did this. And there was just this thing I noticed over time where, like, you know, I'm just talking about my life. Never expected I never did it like an ego thing. It was just, you know, this is what I do, you know, it's the reality. And people were just like, not really, like, people who weren't really interested in me before are now all of a sudden interested. And then they're asking YouTube questions. And then I'm being asked how much money I make. And then I'm asked, how do I do it? What do I do? Who do I know? What connections do I know? Like, it becomes this weird, you know, and there's nothing wrong with being curious about YouTube, but like, you can tell when someone's very interested in you for certain things, you know, not, you know, the fact that I'm Jordan. You know, I like games. I like anime. I like going to movies and hanging out and, you know, just having chats in the kitchen late night drives. You know, I like to do a lot of stuff. You know, I'm a student. I've been to university. I've graduated. You know, like, there's so many things about me, and there's a lot of people I've met just don't care. A lot of people that should care, you know, but they're just like drawn to this YouTube fantasy and just questions, right? So, and yeah, and everyone's just so focused on fame and attention, and you know, it's even gotten dangerous. Social media's even gotten dangerous. Like, I couldn't tell you the stories I heard of people going on vacations, and then they post on social media they're on vacation, and then there's people who are cleverly following those people, and they break into houses and, you know, stuff. No one's focusing on themselves. No one's focusing on their lives. No one's in the moment. You know, I bought a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I believe is his name. It's a great book. Talks about being present and a lot of other amazing things. You know, I bought so many self-help books and just books about life and stuff. And it's just crazy. It's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. People are so addicted to phones and technology and social media, and like, I'm no angel here. You know? I've been sucked into it many times. I feel like only now I'm becoming more aware that going online makes me depressed. You know, I couldn't tell you how many times as a YouTuber I sit in this very desk, motivated, driven to do videos, to work. And then I go on Twitter, and then I go on Facebook, and then I see how bad my YouTube's doing. And then I'm watching YouTube videos, and then it's like, oh my god, I don't want to do anything. Because dopamine, guys, if you don't know, is the chemical in your brain that motivates you. It's actually responsible for a lot of things. It makes you feel good, right? Dopamine is meant for a lot of things, but it's meant for motivation too. Like, you wanting to do stuff is because you want to feel good by doing this thing. And we're overloading our minds with it, and it sucks a lot. You know, even YouTube, you know, has become a bit of an echo chamber with its algorithm. And the way the algorithm's set up now is you watch me, and, you know, if you're watching a lot of my videos, then, like, I'm all over your feed. But then if other YouTubers come in, which, of course, will happen, you get, you know, after a couple weeks of being a fan of mine, you're like, oh, you know, I like the Fury Racer, but I just found this guy, or In a Nutshell, or whatever, and then, or, you know... And then you kind of go over there, you're watching all their videos, you binge watch them, and then the algorithm's like, no longer interested in the Fear Razor, I see. Well, let's feed you some of the In a Nutshell, or, by the way, I love them. But you get what I'm saying? Or Shane Dawson, you've been watching a lot of Jake Paul. You've been watching a lot of Philip DeFranco. You know, let's spam your feed because you're interested in that. And that's how the algorithm works. And, you know, it's just, you know, it sucks. It's just, social media is just becoming this echo chamber, and anyways, you know, the point is, guys, the reason why I titled this video will trigger you is because I think a lot of people are gonna watch this video, and if you're still here after almost 20 minutes, you know, I have to say I'm impressed, for sure. To have that attention span and to actually be interested in this conversation is not common. So, very, very impressed. I'll give you a clap for sure. You deserve it. And I'm not joking. But, you know, social media is something a lot of us are attached to emotionally. And you know, our phones and social media shouldn't be really an extension of ourselves. It should be used as a tool. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being personal with your social media. I mean, that's a given, right? I'm associated with this. I love who I've become, my identity. There's nothing wrong with having an identity. But, I mean, if technology were to stop tomorrow, if it was just all to end tomorrow, would you still know who you are? Or would you identify as your internet personality? You know? Because we are a lot of things in life. But, you know, when we don't have technology in front of us, who are you? Who are you, the viewer? You know, not who are you on Twitter, not if you're an artist or you make fun videos, or, you know, like if you're some sort of comedian, who are you to you? Who are you to your friends and your family? Who are you in your personal life? Not to this world. And, you know, we are different online and in person. I'm probably a lot different if you ever met me in person than you'd ever think on YouTube. We're a bunch of things, right? We're a bunch of different versions of ourselves. But sometimes we lose our identity and we just kind of get absorbed online. So, if anything, guys, all I'm really trying to say is social media doesn't need to be bad. I love it, I do, but I'm becoming more aware of its effects on me. And fame should not ever be the motivation for anything. Because if fame and money is your driving factor, I hate to disappoint it. It's probably, I'd hate to disappoint you, but it's probably going to be a very uncomfortable, unfulfilling, very depressing drive to fuel you. You know, if you're on social media, do things you want to do. If you like to draw art and post it, then that is your thing. If you want to make YouTube videos, do it. Instagram, go at it. Be a photographer or get someone to take nice photos. Go enjoy it, you know? Enjoy social media. But just don't attach the success and attention to the fun side of it. Because that's a fun part of it. But if that's really all you're looking for, it's just not going to be a good time. And some people get a break. Some people who deserve it blow up. Some people who don't deserve it get fame and success. It's an unfair world, guys. But at the end of the day, realize that we are not the internet. We are not technology. These are all tools around us that are shaping our lives, and we could use it for the better and better our lives. But until we're more aware of what technology is doing, a lot of people are going to be depressed. A lot of you guys are going to be unhappy. Depressed, sad, not a part of things, constantly wishing you were something that you'll never become because you're always depressed. You just wallow in your sadness, and you know. So I really do hope this video changes you. I hope this makes you a little more aware, or if anything, is a nice little wake-up call, or even a thought on the side of your mind every now and again. You know, do what you can to not take your phone out of your pocket when you're out to dinner or hanging with friends. You know, it's ruining a lot of our time on this planet. And I'm aware of it. I see it. You're probably noticing it now too. And I just really hope it's something we can all fix, I guess, and be more healthy about. But with that being said though, guys, that is my little talk, my real talk with you guys. Hopefully this didn't trigger you too much, and if it didn't, then that's great. If it did, I'm sorry. This is my opinion, so you don't have to listen to me. But with that being said, I hope you did enjoy this video. I know this is a little different than what I do, but for anyone who's stuck around and watched this whole video, I respect, seriously, respect. And I hope you stick around for more content. You know, I got stories, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna stop talking now. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, guys, take care and have a great day. See ya.